Hi all, today our Lunch and Loans is going over helping buyers with credit challenges. Let's jump in. What we'll go through today is we're going to equip real estate professionals and financial experts with effective strategies to assist clients with credit challenges. We're going to learn practical steps to help clients enhance their credit profiles without having to be a credit expert. We're going to talk over some loan programs that we have for buyers with less than perfect credit. And we're going to go over some scripts and resources to communicate confidently and compassionately with clients facing those credit hurdles. What's the number one credit challenge that you see? I would say my number one is often that people just automatically write themselves off from being able to buy a house. We'll see the commentary that my credit's terrible, I can never buy a house, or my balances are too high, my student loans are too high, I could never buy a house. They're automatically taking themselves out of the game before we even have the opportunity to look at their financial profile. So we want to make sure that anytime we hear those challenges, we're taking it a step further to say, hey, what if I connect you with one of my credit professionals so that we can see what options are out there? Or say, what if we get you on a credit building plan so that instead of someday, we can tangibly look at next year or the following year, right? Let's give them those action steps and a plan so that we can turn someday into a tangible time frame. Why credit matters. Credit scores impact loans. They impact eligibility, interest rates, monthly mortgage payments significantly. We also evaluate our debt to income ratios, payment history, and credit utilization besides just credit scores, but all those aspects go into play. Small credit improvements can really matter. Even a 20 to 30 point credit score improvement can drastically improve our interest rate and our private mortgage insurance, which can therefore improve our buying power. And we want to educate and motivate clients instead of saying, well, this isn't for you or you'll never be able to buy a house. Let's again turn it into that from someday to maybe to an actual plan. Frequent obstacles that buyers are currently facing, high utilization. So, how buyers are using their credit cards. If we see high balances on credit cards, that tells us that the buyers may be living beyond their means or living beyond their lifestyle. So, we want to try and have lower balances on credit cards. Thin credit files, meaning that they don't have a ton of credit history. So if they only have one or two trade lines out there, they just recently started credit, that can be kind of concerning because they haven't shown that track history with making payments. Derogatory marks such as collections, charge off, late payments. Sometimes we can see that it was a one-off exception, a major life incident happened. But if it's a consistent item, that's something that we want to look into further. Bankruptcies and foreclosures are definitely things that we can overcome with a proper strategy and timeline. And student loan balances. As I mentioned, I run into a lot of first-time home buyers that will say, I can never buy a house, I have student loans. When in actuality, that's not the case. What are some strategies that we can use for credit improvement? Actionable steps, manage revolving debt first. So first and foremost, ideally, we want to keep our credit card balances around 30% of our limits. That is going to be the most effective and fastest way to boost up our credit scores. Disputing any credit report errors. Any inaccuracies or incorrect information should be disputed with the bureaus, and we'll go through that in the next page to discuss how. Use authorized user strategy. So if we have someone that has a very slim credit profile, they don't excuse me, they don't have a lot of history, we can talk to, say, a partner or a parent or some other adult relationship in their life and say, hey, can you add me as an authorized user to one of your credit cards? And then our buyer gets all of that credit history added for them. And so we see the entire time that the account's been open, on-time payment history, credit utilization, etc. Now, if the user of that credit card is not appropriately using their credit card per the rules that the credit bureau set out for us, we don't want to be added. But if it's going to be a positive payment history, then we definitely want to have that added. And maintain our old accounts. We don't want to close old accounts. If you're not using them, we want to be monitoring them to make sure that there's no fraud on them. But maintaining old accounts and having that long-term history will be very helpful for the long term. This is annualcreditreport.com. This is one of my favorite resources that I recommend to clients who are still in the fact-finding stage of buying and we're not yet ready to pull credit. So consumers can go on to annualcreditreport.com. Right now, it is still a free weekly online report. In the past, it used to be once monthly. So it wouldn't surprise me if that changes at some point in the future. But through this, consumers have access to pull through Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax their credit reports at no cost and no impact to their credit score. So you can review your credit report and make sure that everything is reporting as it should be. And if there are any discrepancies, incorrect information, they have access for the credit bureaus to reach out to and dispute that directly. If consumers wanted to see their credit score through the bureaus through this portal, it does cost money. So I don't recommend viewing your credit score through this portal, but viewing your credit report is very beneficial. And I also recommend to people just going on, say, every quarter or at minimum 2 times a year to verify that nothing fraudulent or incorrect is reporting. Let's talk about our flexible programs for lending that we have. FHA loan can accommodate credit scores as low as 580 with low down payments. VA has no minimum credit scores for eligible veterans. USDA and non-QM loans, so non-qualified mortgage loans, definitely have options with moderate credit scores. And then down payment assistance options. So we pair loan programs with down payment assistance that we're able to enhance that affordability for credit challenge buyers. So we have some down payment assistance programs that have a minimum credit score of 640 to 650. Some of our programs go down to 600. So we have a lot of flexibility within there to offer lending within the down payment assistance world. And what can we do to build client confidence? So first and foremost, we want to normalize credit issues, right? Right now, with the state of everything going on in this world, we completely understand that debt just feels out of control. And that's normal. Okay. So we don't want to come at it as far as a place of shame or any concerns like that. We want to position ourselves as a partner and let them know that we're here walking with them every step of the way. And we're going to give them that step-by-step goal so they know exactly how to proceed. And really, let's have that communication and build that relationship so that we can increase those chances of success. For example, if I set someone up on that credit building plan, I'm reaching out to them every 3 months to check in and see how their action steps are coming along. Additional tools, we have a credit improvement checklist. So if I have a client who we are putting on these action plans, or you just think that it would be beneficial, we have a checklist we can send out to them. Share contact information for credit counseling and financial education. We also have access to those tools. Work with a trusted advisor. So collaborate with someone who you know is reliable and is going to work with them. And easy resource access. So making sure that we're constantly staying in flow with them, we're giving them that communication and resource and just checking in to make sure that they know that we're available for any questions they have. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you have any additional questions, please reach out at any time.